Hello,
Hello
hello, hello.
there.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday already. Goodness.
Wednesday lunch and learn.
I feel like we are like, kind of run a marathon with everything that's been happening, right, Krista?
Yes, I agree. I agree totally.
Well, let's start with introductions in case you're popping on and this is your first time here. My name is Melinda Pearson and I have been representing Mary Kay Cosmetics now for 27 years. Next month it'll be officially 27 years. I've been saying
Wow.
27 years for a while. Um, but it is official next month in December. So welcome. I'm going to start a watch party with all the technology. I want to do that. So while Krista's introducing herself, don't
Yes,
mind me for a second.
right. I'm Krista Cuning and I am Melinda's sister. We've been sisters in business and sisters in life for you guess how long, but sisters in business for 25 years because I started in July of 95. So super exciting to be here with you today and sharing a little bit of what we've learned through our Mary Kay journey and just different skills and fun stuff. You never know what you're going to get when you get the two of us on Wednesdays. And today, hopefully, it's something that you can take out into your daily life and use that's practical, that is tried and true. And one of the things I know, one of the great things that keeps Melinda and I coming back for more is because of the culture and the positivity. And wouldn't you say, Melinda, we all need a little positivity in our lives right now? Probably
I,
a lot of it. So,
yeah, I would absolutely say that. For some reason, I can't figure out how to start a watch party.
oh shoot.
Um, it's not giving me an option. So I'm sure there's something that I'm not doing right, but it's okay. We don't need to do that. Um,
I was going to say that with our 7, 8 months that we've been doing these lives and that technology is always changing. And while we could do some things before, now there's new rules or new whatever changes that we've got to learn to navigate. So thank you for
right.
going with the flow with us and navigating through this time together.
I wonder if I just had one other idea, but it won't, it's not letting me do that. I wonder if I'm in there as me.
Oh, gotcha. Sometimes when we have pages, and if we are posting as our independent sales director, we can do some things, but then we have to be our own identity and be our name and our
Right.
personal profile person, so just such a learning curve.
Right. Lots of learning curves. So I apologize. I was distracted. I didn't figure that out. So apparently that wasn't supposed to happen this afternoon. We don't want to waste any more time. Kristen, I really felt like uh, in the midst of a pandemic, that pandemic fatigue that we're all starting to have, and the election drama, the things, of course, we still don't have any answers. And we knew that. Actually, we did know, we expected with everything that was leading up to it and all the chit chat. That's probably the positive way to talk about it, right? That we
Yes.
knew that we weren't going to have a decision on the night of the election. So with all of that going on, and then numbers spiking and just all of the different things that have been happening, we really felt today what we wanted to bring with you are some of the things that we've learned about self-care, taking care of ourselves, and really taking care of your brain, your mental health, that emotional management piece that we could share, because both Krista and I, through our journey, that's probably one of the most biggest blessings of being part of this company is learning from Mary Kay Ash the lady and really being able to become the best versions of ourselves. And a lot of that is a result of that emotional management that we learn and that we teach and we want to share with you. So today, that's what we thought. Gosh, rather than talking about products and different things, let's just talk about some of the things that we've learned that maybe might be something you can take out into your day, into your life, that will make a difference for you, or that you can think, oh yeah, I forgot about that, and then pass that along to someone that is close to you that really could help. First and foremost, though, I guess I should say that if you really are battling some depression and you know that you're not in a healthy place, reach out to your doctor, make the call, get some help. Mental health, mental illness anxiety, those things are all real. And we know
Absolutely.
that the mental health of our nation is really, and our world probably with the pandemic, is really one of the things that's taking the biggest toll, because we are created for communion and connection. So we can give you some things that really will help on the day to day. But if you're experiencing some deep, dark feelings, reach out, reach up. And, and those of you that are watching and you have loved ones and you're concerned, say something. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I just thought I better
Okay.
start with that. I don't know if you
Yes.
got anything to add with that, but we're taking the basis of what we're going to talk about today is Mary Kay on people management, or Mary Kay. That's what, when she wrote this book in the 80s, it was Mary Kay on people management. Then it came out with the title of the Mary Kay Way, which probably would be a more appropriate title for today.
Yes.
But when they relaunched the book, it is really Mary Kay on people management. It's all about people skills.
Mhm.
One of the things that I think I learned most in this business is it really is our communication skills. We learn a lot through that. And I have to laugh. I've shared this story and then we'll get into stuff. Sorry, Krista. I feel like I'm just
Okay.
rambling. But when Nolan was little and he was taking in school, and they would talk about social skills, and he just hated that social skills. Like, he's like, Mom, I'm not a baby. And I said, Nolan, really, that's what I do. That's one of the things that's a part of my business. It's a big part of my business is teaching people skills. That's what I call it, is people skills.
Mhm.
It's learning how to be a better person.
Mhm.
How
Becoming
we
the
can be.
best version of yourself.
Yes, exactly. So they just changed the name to Social Skills. So Mary Kay, her words of wisdom. This is a great book. I highly, highly, highly recommend it to everyone out there. But let's jump in and let's talk about some of the topics and some of the things that we wrote down that we feel are really the most important things to share with you today. So, Christy, you want to start? I've been rambling on.
Oh yes. The one thing that really stands out to me and what I feel like I've gained and um, received so much from is the theory to that everybody wears a sign that says make me feel important. We all want to feel special. We want to feel included. We want to be a part of something. And that's part of that communion and connection that we were designed for. And so stepping out of your way, if you think the thought that her hair looks great or she's got a beautiful new outfit on, or whether it's new or not, you don't know, obviously, but there's something that you notice about an individual, man, woman, child, tell them. Don't keep that thought to yourself. Let people know that they matter, that they make a difference, make them feel special. That is one of my favorites because, you all walk a little taller. We feel a little pep in our step when you've been given a compliment. And then another add on to that is when you get those compliments, receive them. Say thank you. Don't talk it off, push it off. Just revel in it a minute, and it's okay to do that.
Don't try to justify it. Like this old thing. Yeah, no. Just say
Yeah.
thank you. I was
Oh,
thinking
I
when you
need
were
to
saying
go or whatever.
right about the everyone wears a sign, is it there's also the reverse side of that too, is when you're thinking you're having to interact with someone who really challenges you, or maybe someone you really don't care for, that really you or maybe even sometimes they've hurt your feelings. They wear that sign too. um, you know, we could use the perfect example right now of our country and having two different people vying for the leadership of our country. And some people really have a very strong feeling. Actually, most people have a strong feeling towards both, but a really strong feeling. It's thinking about everyone wears that sign. So I think actually, you know what it is? Mary Kay also said God didn't have time to make a nobody. So
Right.
if we can start to look for one positive thing, or what one thing is it that we can find that we think, oh, that's nice about that person, that energy will transfer. So maybe you might have to think, well, their nails look really nice, like they've got a nice manicure, or or their shirt's not wrinkled. I mean, it can be the smallest thing. Those things are just
Mhm.
popping off my my top of my head, or it looks like they brush their teeth today. That's good. Some of those things that you can find something that is good about them so that you can start to materialize that energy rather than the negative energy.
That can even be, Melinda, one step on that is with the person that you love that lives in your home, focusing on the things that you love about them versus the things that drive you crazy. We all are creatures of habit, and we have things that we do well and things that we don't, and we all have, what do you call them, our idiosyncrasies or whatever. And so when you focus on what you want to see more of, that stands out. It's just like buying a new car. You find a car that you're got your eye on, all of a sudden you see them everywhere. It's that, so.
That's a great point. Yeah. So when you're angry with those people that you love, switch it in your brain and think about what is it I love about that person rather than what are you so annoyed by. Right.
Yes.
That's good. That is so good. And sometimes that's the people that are closest to us that get the worst of ourselves, truly, because we let our guard down with them and we treat them differently sometimes than the people that we don't know when we're being nice. So really taking that all the way back to that person, those people that you love the most. So that's a good point. Yeah. What is it? And everyone wears a sign, and God didn't have time to make a nobody. So on that note, I think another great thing that follows right along with that, and Mary Kay talks about in her book, is the art of listening. So I love this. I learned this from Mary Kay. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We are to listen twice as much as speak. Now, when I first heard that, I'm like, yeah, God really did give us 2 ears and 1 mouth. I hadn't really ever had that thought process, but it's so true. Listen more and ask questions. Like I always try to think, what am I missing here? What are they trying to say? Sometimes semantics get us in trouble, like the way, what I think the definition of a word is and what they meant the definition of that word could be totally, truly different things. And we all have perspective. That's like the whole glass is half full, glass is half empty. I'm just glad I have some in my glass.
Yeah.
That, really, ask those questions, ask for clarification, really, and if something's really bothering you, have that conversation with them, trying to put down the defenses and really thinking that's really not what they meant. Right. Again, I honestly think the thing that's been baffling to me over this last several months, and not to make this political, I'm not going to do that, but when 50% of our population believes one way and the other 50%, that's the other half, believes the other way. And what is it? Like, why is that? I really honestly believe we're all trying to get to the same place. It's just coming at it from two different vantage points, 2 different perspectives, 2 different thoughts. So if we can use our ears to listen more and try to think about what is that person saying to me and lower our guard down a little bit to be able to take it in and think, oh, well, that's really not so far off from what I want. So how can we get there? I read a great book years ago. It's called The Third, shoot, it just escaped me. It's Stephen Covey. The Third Alternative. Is that it? There's always a third way. There's always a win-win-win if we look for it. So anyway,
yeah,
I got off. I think it's The Third Alternative. Stephen Covey, The Third something. If you want to read it, great book. Everybody should read it. There are some books that I think we all should read. That's another thing that I've learned, that I've gained from this Mary Kay opportunity, is feeding my brain. Like, what am I putting into it? Guarding myself, again, with the pandemic or the election or all those things, we can, or the stuff that's happening with like fires and all of that, you can become consumed by the news or by what's going on. And really, It's one thing to be concerned, it's another thing to be consumed. So set some guardrails for yourself. And maybe you need an alarm that goes off in your phone when you've been watching or you've been on social media or been doing something, say 30 minutes, so that it beeps at you, so that clicks that brain, so you get out, so you shut it off, so you just stay there. You know.
Yep. I have always told my daughters, and I'm pretty sure I learned it in Mary Kay. I've been in Mary Kay their entire lifetimes, and I know Melinda used to always train on this as I was becoming a sales director and moving up in my career with Mary Kay, but that you have to guard what you feed your mind. You can't expect to feed it garbage and things that are unhealthy and have wonderful, great, positive things come out of it. We have to guard our hearts, listen to the news to be informed, but like Melinda said, not to be consumed by that. So I'd say guarding the music you listen to, guarding the shows that you watch, the books that you read, and who you surround yourself with. That makes a difference too. So I know that you become like those that you surround yourself with. So choose wisely. We find that in this company that one of the things we love is that we get to surround ourselves with women that are trying to become the best versions of themselves. Iron sharpens iron, and we bring out the best in each other. We don't try to compare and live in the land of comparison, because that's the thief of joy. We try to walk in who we are and who we've been created to be, because we all are God's masterpiece, because we're all made in his image and likeness. So it's a beautiful thing when you find that you have been given strengths and gifts and talents. And then when you run in those and you work in those, that there's no stopping you.
It's an interesting thought when we heard that you become like the 5 people you surround yourself with.
For sure.
So think about that. Like, think about
some people
it.
You can choose. Some people you can't.
Right. Exactly. You think about it, like, do you ever show up and you're wearing kind of the same outfits? I mean, that does happen, and how you see the glass. Depending on who you're surrounding yourself and who you're allowing to talk to you all the time, that's going to impact it. That's where social media can be a really dangerous thing, because on social media, we are putting our best foot forward. That's what you're seeing. You're not seeing the messes. So those of us, when we're in a mess and we're scrolling and we're seeing all these positive things, or maybe it's our business isn't going quite the way we want, and we feel like we're getting no after no, and your girlfriend, like, she's like posting $1,000 days and
right,
everyone's saying yes. Just know that really you got to take yourself a step back. And I'm not saying she's not having those results. That's not what I'm saying. So don't misunderstand me. Great things do happen. We just have to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples. So the other one is the you can tell a lot about a person by the last 5 books they've read.
Yes.
So think about that. What are the last 5 books you read, or have you even read 5 books? Some of us haven't read 5 books since we got out of school. I mean, I'm not saying anything, that's you. I am a reader. If someone would pay me to sit down and read all day, I would probably eat that up. That wasn't my calling. That wasn't what God had in store for me. I already had that conversation with him. So it's okay. But thinking about that, and the thing that's changing in our world too is we're not having books. Kids don't have books in school. And I think that is that's one of the challenges. We need to put books in their hands. We need to, I think I know you can read them on your device, but I really think we need to have some times that we aren't on screens, and books would be a perfect example of how to do that. So that's another topic for another day. That's not about taking care of you and emotional management, although it could be, right?
Right.
I think the one that I want to switch to right now, I think goes right in here, is helping other people get what they want. When you help other people get what they want, it will come back around to you. And one of my early lessons in this company was with one of my favorite people, who's an Emeriti now, was Mary Pat Rayner. She was in Omaha, and one of the things that she always said is when you're not feeling great or when you're having a bad day, bake your neighbor a cake.
I love
What
that
that means
too.
is take the focus off yourself, do something nice for someone else, and you'll start to have those happy feelings bubbling up with inside of you, because that your neighbor will be so appreciative. So you're doing something for someone else, helping other people. And our company was really founded on that, treating other people the way you want to be treated. It's the golden rule. It's biblical, and we do for others. I think that's one of the things that people don't understand about our company, and quite honestly don't always get, so don't necessarily stay within the company when they sign up, is the fact that we do for other people without expecting anything in return.
Mhm.
The blessings come back. they
And we
they
share
all,
ideas.
right. Right. Mary Kay said, if you have an idea and I have an idea and we share that, we can both have a double chance of being successful. If we keep those things to ourselves, we'll be out of business. So it's all about helping each other. And you don't go to the top alone in this company. It's not lonely at the top in Mary Kay. So we're on our track to do that. So did you have another one you wanted to say, Krista?
No, I think that that falls in with what you said, is just praising people to success. You catch them doing what you want to see them doing. So finding the good, looking for the good things that they're doing, and then going back to that compliment, telling them, because you'll get more of what it is you want to see than regardless, versus the things that you don't want to see. Focus on the
Right.
person's strengths, praise them to success. Um, our children, that's a good skill for moms right now that maybe are really stressed out and tired, because it is a lot right now to navigate through. So get your children doing what you want them to be doing. There's less heels that dig in when you do that.
Right. Even if it's just one little part that you can say, thank you for doing that. And don't say, but you didn't do this. Just
Right.
like zip your lips. Say,
Remember that we, need to teach them manners by,
right.
telling them the things that you see that, thank you
Right.
for doing that, telling them that too, that matters. It makes a difference.
Right. Yeah. So look for the positive and find your joy. I think that's always, again, coming back around to glasses half full.
Yes.
Mary Kay always encourage us to find the positive. There's a silver lining in everything. I mean, we can take that back to the pandemic and the things that we can pull out that were positive. I'm going to challenge you today to find two things that have been positive from this season in our life. What are those two things? I'm sure you've got at least two. I know I've got a handful of things. Yes, I agree. There are things that have not been great, but there are great things that have come out of it. I really do believe God uses everything to bring good from it, even when it's not good, even when it's scary, even when it's super hard, even when it's heavy. There are some things that we can look for. So look for the positive and choose to find joy. You can have joy in your heart regardless of the situation. Of course, that might be finding Jesus in your heart. But again, of course, I could say that's the whole thing about the emotional management. But where we find you is, we want you to come along. Mary Kay is a Christian-based company. I already told you that she founded the company on the golden rule, treating other people the way you want to be treated. And she took God as her business partner. So it is a company where we do talk about our faith. We do put our faith first, our family second, and our career third. And truly, that's probably been the biggest gift and the biggest blessing for myself and my family, and my ability to have that healthy self management, emotional management. But I have one more thing that's kind of a funny thing that I learned early on, which this was a lesson that I needed to learn, was, did you know that you are the funniest thing walking around? And when you can laugh at yourself, life will be a whole lot happier. You have more joy in your heart when you can think, oh, I can't believe I did that. Or, oh, that's someone like me. Like when the next time you do something and you like, even if it's like, you're always late. Okay. That might be one of my challenges. I might be a tad late most every time I go somewhere. Um, but just like, rather than beating yourself up over it over and over, you can always strive to do better. I always am. I am striving to do better with that. And I have gotten way better with that. But when you don't quite do it right, you can just like toss your back and say, oh, that's so unlike me.
Like me.
And laugh
I love
about
that one.
it.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
We have plenty of things walking around.
when you do things, when you open up the refrigerator and you find your glasses in there or something, like something silly, like laugh about it, talk about it, share those things that
Mhm.
you're doing, so that other people can get a chuckle, not at your
Yeah,
expense, not mean, none of that. So those of you
right.
that are, border on the sarcastic mean, I'm not saying that.
Yeah. When you show up to your first car party in two different colored jackets, like my skirt was navy and my jacket was black, you just laugh at yourself. It's a new trend.
Yeah. I did a skincare class with two different shoes on, like two different, like different heel heights. I didn't
Oh,
notice
funny.
until I got in, like, this is early on, but I got in the house. I'm like, I was walking, I had to run out to the car and I was walking back in. I thought, why am I walking so weird? And I looked down and I had two different shoes on. So like, what was I going to do? Like flee? So no, we had a laugh about it. I had a good laugh and, yeah,
Yeah.
it's all good. All those things can happen. So really, really, there is light. There is light out there. There are options and things that you can do. Self-care, leading the way, really leading yourself well is what I wanted to say. Take some time for you. This is our little multi-masking pack, your charcoal mask and your renewing gel mask. Put a mask on, read a book, fill yourself with some good things so that you feel like you can rejuvenate. I mean, that's probably the other thing, Krista, we didn't even touch on is knowing yourself as far as introvert, extrovert, some of those things
Oh,
about
yeah.
your life.
Mhm.
Introverts, knowing I'm an introvert and I energize myself through downtime, through quiet time, quiet, like quiet, no noise,
Yeah.
a
I'm an
book, a
extrovert.
cup of coffee, my, prayer time, and go ahead.
Yep, and I'm an extrovert. I get my energy from being around people. If I'm alone too much, then I get too much in my head. And then you hear that little person self talk in there that sometimes isn't always very nice to yourself. So then you have to knock that off and say, all right. I've even been known to go just sit in a coffee shop and be around people, even if I'm not meeting somebody, just to have the energy of being in amongst people because there is definitely something to that. And so,
Right. So right now with this, where a lot of things are virtual and it's really not advised to be out when you don't have to be out,
right.
utilizing things like this, getting on Zoom,
Mhm.
asking a few friends like, hey, let's jump on Zoom. Let's have, a virtual chat. Let's, do some of those things. Those things are going to be important. If you know you are an extrovert, do a three-way phone call. There's ways
Yeah,
that we can do it. There's some really fun apps. I think there's one called House Party. Probably do some games together or something fun. I
sure.
mean, all those things are, or why not have a Zoom Mary Kay party and invite your girlfriends on? They can be all over the country. We'll send the samples to them and you can have a party with your girlfriends on Zoom so you can get that cup filled. Everyone will be happy. And guess what? You'll earn free product. See
Yeah.
how I circled that back around? That was not the intention today, but I just couldn't not take the
Right?
opportunity.
It is fun and it is gathering and it is getting together. Allow yourself to want to, allow yourself to say yes to some of the things that do bring you joy. I know you hear that sometimes this is a season of saying no because we get so busy and there's so much on our plates, but sometimes it's the best yes. Sometimes it's listening to that little gut feeling. I think that's another gift that I've learned in this business. Women, all of us, we're given an intuition for a reason, and you got to learn to listen to that and go with it.
Yes.
And the more you use it, I really truly believe it's the Holy Spirit working through us. And when you become aware of it, then you get more inklings and you get more direction that way, and it just becomes a greater communication with you in your journey. So I don't know.
Mary Kay always said women's intuition was God's gift to women.
Mhm.
So she always
Yeah,
encouraged us to use it.
yeah.
Okay, so then we would be remiss if we didn't say all at the end of the day, maybe you just want to join us in this business opportunity and become a consultant. There's so much you gain from it. Maybe you're not in a situation where you need to earn extra money. Maybe you just need it for that leading yourself well and that self-care and those pieces of surrounding yourself with people that are on a path to becoming their best self. Maybe that's why you jump in and you join us in this business and make money on the side. That is a win-win, right? That is a bonus.
It is, yes.
And with the holidays right around the corner, you could shop from yourself and purchase your holiday gifts at 50% discount.
Yes.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. And we're a lot of fun. I hope that if you stuck with us this whole time, I think you might think so too. So join us. We'd love to have you, and we'll be with you every step of the way.
Yes, no doubt. In business for yourself, but never by yourself. Praise God. We love that our girlfriends. That's why we're both here. So, okay, we're at our time. We're like a little bit over.
Yeah,
they would have cut us off if we were on TV. See, that's the cool thing. We get to decide what we do. So.
Right.
So this week, go out and take care of you. And if you need someone to talk to, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to have conversations. And remember, reach out if you need some extra help. So praying for you, Godspeed. It's going to be a great, glorious, God-filled week, right?
Amen. Yes. So go out there, be the light. Let your light shine. Bye, everyone.